In today's video, we're going to be building my very first farm of the season, which is very, very exciting indeed. So hello humans, I'm the AlienDoctor, but you could call me Alien. And if you happen to notice that lots of time has passed between clips, that's probably because I started recording this video before we even did the end event. So hopefully that explains that. Now before we get too distracted, let's take a look at the farm we're going to be building today. And ignoring the block palette, this is actually what we're going to be building today. So it's inspired by a tutorial for a farm on Slacklizard's channel. So I'll make sure to link that in the description. It uses like very similar to the same mechanics, but I have basically completely changed the layout of it to suit the specific design criteria I had for my own version. So coming in here to the center, you'll notice that there are villagers. So the sort of main purpose of this place is for a trading hall, and then we're sort of throwing in other farms around it as well. And the first that you may notice is up here, which is of course this zombie spawner. So on Bedrock Edition, zombie villagers can actually spawn from spawners, or zombie spawners. And the good thing is about zombie villagers spawning from these on Bedrock is that you actually get a discount of 1 emerald or one of whatever item it is trading for any villager within 16 blocks of that zombie villager being spawned. So as you can see here, we have 1 emerald per iron chestplate trades, for example. And it's the same for these diamond ones down here. I'm pretty sure I have reached the limit of discounts, but there's, what was it, 1 iron for 1 emerald, and we also have 1 emerald book trades over here as well, or 2 emerald book trades in some cases. Here we go, look, 1 emerald for lore 2, for example. So that's how we're going to be getting some very, very good trades from these guys, is using the zombie villagers from the spawner to give us discounts. We don't even have to do any curing, it's all automatic, which is great. And then secondly, we have an iron farm. This is a pretty basic 20 villager, 20 bed iron farm. It's not running because mob spawning is off right now. Now, in terms of what we're doing to the zombies and the zombie villagers that spawned, that's actually over here, dependent of this area. So we have a lever. This probably isn't its final position, but for now it's here. And what this does is lets us choose between XP mode and no XP mode. So right now it's on no XP, which means they just get sent up this bubble column and into this cobweb, which is waterlogged, because on Bedrock Edition you can waterlog cobwebs. So I've gone ahead and broken the torch so that this spawner can actually spawn some zombies now to demonstrate this better. But what happens is on Bedrock Edition, if you put a zombie into a waterlogged cobweb like this with water above them in their head like that, then that's actually enough time for them to get converted to a drowned. So using this app called Cheat Engine that I've used many times before, I'll speed up the game to show you it. And of course, I only use this for testing purposes. This wouldn't even work on the actual PinaCraft server. But what we can see now is that the zombies will basically go through the waterlogged cobweb until they will get turned into drowns, which we will see in a second. And there we go. You can see there that they are now getting turned into drowns. And then they're just going to go over here into the iron farm kill chamber because there's no point in building a second one. If we flick this lever, which is kind of hard to do when the game's been sped up like this, and then flick this lever, you can see here that we actually have a trident killer. Now, of course, this is a good thing because it means that we can get experience when, of course, we're like loading the farm or AFK here or something. Whereas when we don't want experience, we can just send them to the iron farm kill chamber. And I'm now going to disable Cheat Engine because it is very, very quick. So yeah, that's the farm that we're going to be building today on the PinaCraft Season 4 server. I already know exactly where we're going to be building it. And despite the fact that the event technically ended last episode, I'm actually going to let all the other Team 2 members use this because I'm going to be building it in the Team 2 area. Now, to give credit where credit is due, the whole concept of using the iron farm and trading hall is from Slacklizard, who is another Minecraft Bedrock Edition creator who actually has a tutorial on just the iron farm part of a farm like this. However, I have completely redesigned my own sort of from the ground up, so I have not watched this tutorial or anything. I just know that he sort of has used this mechanic, so I sort of used the same concept as him, but of course designed my own version. Now, one thing I do want to do is some enchanting. You see, I found these enchanted books in the enchantment books chest. They're potentially useful. So this one has efficiency 4, this one has mending and unbreaking 3, and this one just has efficiency 3. So I think it's kind of safe that we can just discard this one. Where is it? There it is. Because I think combining these two is probably the best. The only issue is it has Curse of Vanishing. So I'm not sure if I want to risk putting Curse of Vanishing. The issue is that was the only mending book we have, as you can see, and it's the only Unbreaking 3 book that we have, I'm pretty sure. So I'm not sure if I want to waste it on a pickaxe that may vanish. It's kind of risky, basically. So I think I'm just going to do this. Efficiency 4 pickaxe. So there we go. Alien's pickaxe is officially reborn. And that's weird. It just went into that slot. So there we go. We now have an efficiency 4 pickaxe, which should just help us mining out this area a little bit quicker now, because otherwise it would have taken us absolutely ages. So in about an hour for me, I'm going to be doing a live stream. So I'm going to cut to after that live stream so you can see how much progress we made. Well, I haven't even started the live stream yet, but I have made some good progress, as you can see, making this tunnel, and then I took a turn, and then I began the staircase, and as you can see, the diamond pickaxes are pretty much already out of durability, so I think what I'm going to do is use this book, because realistically, it's not going to get used on anything else, I imagine. Like, the only other enchantment it has is piercing, and nobody really needs a crossbow. So I'm just going to use it on this pickaxe, and hopefully I won't die. So I ended my stream a little bit ago now, and this is actually all we got done, and I have actually done a little bit after the stream, but it was mainly because I died with the vanishing pickaxe. So, well, take a look at this clip. Ooh, no! No, I can't die now, because... No! That was my good pickaxe, and it has Curse of Vanishing, and that was my fault. That was totally my fault. I was on half a heart, and I jumped off the thing. So that was completely my fault. How much does the screen tilt? Now's not the time for these sorts of questions. That was the only efficiency 4 or 5 book that we had. The only mending book that we had. Only Unbreaking 3 book that we had, and I used it on that. And one of those, the Unbreaking and Mending, also came with Curse of Vanishing. So that pickaxe is now gone, unless miraculously Bedrock has decided to have a bug, which it does do a lot, to be fair, and not get rid of it, so we'll see. But there is a pretty good chance that we have just lost that pickaxe. So yeah, as you saw, I unfortunately did die with like the really good pickaxe, but Toad has just said that he has just come online and left 2 pickaxes for me to combine that will give me, I can't remember whether it was efficiency 4 or 5, but it will basically be a good replacement for the one I just lost. I'm assuming it's more of like a shared pickaxe or his pickaxe, so I won't keep it on me, but that's fine. So here we are, we have Silk Touch and Unbreaking 2, along with Mending and Efficiency 4. Although this is going to cost a lot of levels. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess it's time to go back to the skeleton grinder. Jeez. And a little bit of time later, we now have 14 levels, so we could create this pickaxe. And I think I'll stand here for a little bit longer, just so that I can fully repair it. But this is very good. We've got Efficiency 4 and Unbreaking 2. Not as good as Unbreaking 3, but it'll do. Well, I did literally just die to a piglin in the nether, but whilst I was actually mining out a nether tunnel to get to the skeleton grinder, I did manage to find myself enough netherite or ancient debris to make myself a netherite ingot. So I'm going to actually go ahead and put it onto this Silk Touch pickaxe, like so. There we go, we now have a netherite pickaxe. Well, a lot of things have happened since the first clip. Namely, I have, well, decorated this corridor going all the way down these stairs. All of these are decorated, and then as you can see, I have kind of stopped at the corridor down here, but I will finish it eventually. Because if we go down here and over here, you'll notice a nether portal, because there's a quicker way to get to this place now. But you'll also notice the beginnings of this farm. So we have already got all of the beds in place, and we also have got a zombie spawner up here as well. So I actually have all of the villager pods in and all of that sort of thing. And actually the one thing that I kind of have run out of is enough tinted glass for us to actually build the rest of this spawner, or the spawner bit. However, that's not going to stop us from putting in the villagers so that we can of course have the iron farm working, and it's also not going to stop us from being able to build the rest of the farm because most of it just uses glass or normal solid blocks. So on the stream that I have already mentioned quite a lot today, we actually got 2 zombie villagers. Riri helped me this, so a massive thanks to him. But in here, we have 2 zombie villagers. We got Bob and Job, and they're partners in crime on a quest to steal the infinity bar. So the plan is that we're going to take these guys and of course put them down into the farm, but we'll also need to cure them as well. So I'm going to get all of that stuff ready, and then I think I'm actually going to call in a helping hand to help me transport them. Why, hello there, Mr. Goldie.
Why, hello there, alien.
So you may have not seen somewhere in this direction.
Yes.
I have no game sound, and I'm now trapped in a stair. Okay, well that was actually very helpful for me. Because down here is actually where I wanted to be. No!
Oh!
Okay, so if you have thorns, make sure to take it off. So over here we have Bob and Job. And if you come over here, they are partners in crime on a quest to steal the infinity bar. But tragically for them, they will not be stealing the infinity bar. Originally, I was going to transport these guys down there and then cure them, because I need villagers. But it just occurred to me that we could cure them and then transport them first. So would you like to do the easy way or the hard way?
Should we do the easy way?
Yes, which involves curing them up here. So have you ever done this before?
No.
Okay, you'll need these and you'll need this. Right. So what I'm going to do is splash them with this potion of weakness. And then if you feed Bob that golden apple,
yep,
I'll feed Job, or Job, the other one. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So 3, 2, 1, now. Right click. And now we just wait here. But hopefully...
Just casually wait.
Oh, we missed a step. We need them in separate boats. Because the amount of time it takes to cure may be different. So one may start killing the others. Okay, we're gonna... well, I have 2 boats here.
Oh my god.
Yes, okay. That was surprisingly easy.
It's Bob and Job.
Yep.
Woo!
I'm moving them away from each other. Just, you know. Oh, I actually didn't villager-proof this area. If you want to start bringing them in, and I'll just do some real quick villager-proofing. Okay. This is fine. It's part of the plan. Alright, it's fine. I got a staircase. And then, oh, okay. Be careful when going down those stairs, because they can take damage. And then we just want to ride them down here. And there we go. They should start linking to the beds here as well. They're making babies. They're breeding. Yes, this is good news. Happy alien noises. Yes, we have a child. We have our first village child. This is good. Okay, so a lot of time has passed now, and as you can see, these villagers have certainly done some breeding, and we're also getting 2 iron golems spawning in here at the same time, which means that the iron farm is actually working properly, which is very, very good. And of course, I've also temporarily just made the zombies drop through down here as well. So we've also got a temporary system for the zombies, but of course in the future, they'll be drowns instead. So we're actually already getting discounts. And speaking of just villager trades in general, Goldie has already done a little bit of rolling, and he has already rolled us some Unbreaking 3, some Mending, and some Fortune 3 as well. And I've gone ahead and locked in those trades as well, which is absolutely excellent. Now, unfortunately, we did have one casualty. Job did not make it, so we have Bob, but we do not have Job. And unfortunately, I wasn't recording then either. But we don't need to talk about that. Now, in this chest, you could see, obviously, we already have some books, but we already have 2 stacks and 10 emeralds. And that, primarily, is from trading red dye from these guys, which we're of course getting from the poppies that the iron golems drop, and then the 1 iron per emerald trades that we're getting through all of these villages. All of these villages have 1 iron for 1 emerald, and that is obviously thanks to, the zombie villager discount we're getting, and of course we're also able to trade the rotten flesh that we're getting from the zombie spawner as well, which is pretty good. And the other good thing about this is that we now have a decent food source in that we can trade for bread, and eventually we'll also be able to trade for golden carrots as well, which is very, very nice because I don't really have that much cooked salmon left. So what I'm going to work on now is just a little bit of the actual decorations for this farm, or yeah, just decorating this room a little bit as well. Also, occasionally we're having iron golems spawning up here, but the plan is for it to actually go up a little bit and then over, so it's like a ceiling. So this won't be here for golems to spawn on, which should hopefully fix that problem. I think we fixed the spawning issues of them going down there as well. Basically, we were having iron golems spawn in like all the wrong places earlier. Basically, it was to do with the beds, in that they weren't laid out very well. So I've kind of changed the way that they're laid out now, so that all the pillows are sort of more facing towards the center, which means that the iron golems are gonna spawn sort of closer to them, which should hopefully help. So I haven't gotten that far in actually decorating down here, because I just had an idea of something else I want to do, because obviously we have our Unbreaking 3 book here and our Mending book here from those villagers. So I figured, why not place this anvil down and enchant our elytra? So as per usual, it's going to be named Alien's Elytra, and which way around is cheaper? Doing mending than a breaking? And there we go. We now have an enchanted elytra. This is extremely good news. Now, we don't have a ton of rockets left because we don't have lots of gunpowder. However, I have been told that there is actually a shop open, shopping district, and I believe you can actually fly out of this cave. Yeah, it's over here. So there is a shop open at Shopping District by Skull already. Like, geez, we've only just done the end event with rockets. So I'm going to go ahead and buy some of his rockets. But this feels so good. This is like the first time I've properly like flown over this area and like seen all the settlements. It's very, very cool. And just over here coming into view now, we have the shopping district where there is already the beginnings of some build as well as some smaller pop-up shops as well. This is more like spawn. The actual shopping district is in here, but it's not really ready for shops yet. So anyway, we have all books 2 diamonds, which is Skull's shop. And then over here, yes, this is Skull's rocket shop. 1 diamond per 20. Jeez, he is going to be making a lot of money. Okay, so I have 26 diamonds. So I think I'm going to buy however many that will get me. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. It's not a ton. It's 2 stacks and 18, but it'll do for now. Jeez. I've just also noticed over here somebody's selling 1 diamond for books, but also for totems. So I'm actually going to go ahead and buy a couple of totems as well. And yes, I have a resource pack that turns them into mini-me's, which you can download from TheAlienDoctor.com. Well, this place is pretty much finished, although there is still one thing that we need to do, which is, of course, switch the zombies so that they're being put into, like, a drowned conversion chamber, along with, like, a trident killer and a trident killer. I just said the same thing twice. Going crazy. Well, potential craziness aside, I have now completely finished the drowned part of this farm as well, complete with a trident killer and storage for the iron farm and drowned conversion area as well. We have like just a lot of stuff going on in this place. Like we've got the iron golems dying down there and the drowns dying down there as well. We've obviously got the zombies spawning and then getting converted into drowns. It just feels like this place is very like alive with just lots of different things going on. It's strange, but anyway, that's annoying. I gotta fix that before I do anything. Much better. So of course this is temporary. We need a better way to like walk over this thing. I can't really drop it down because it will interfere with the iron farm spawning area. But essentially what we have here is the zombies getting funneled out of the spawner and into this bubble column where they will go down into here. Now, there's obviously the waterlogged cobweb and that whole system that I showed you earlier. We also have this lever, which if I flick it, will put them into that cobweb instead, which means they'll, of course, end up in this trident killer. And we actually have an impaling 4 trident in there, which means they're mostly one-hit kill, I believe, unless they're wearing armor. Now, over here, we, of course, have the storage system as well. Annoyingly, there had to be a gap in because the water wasn't long enough, which is a shame, but it is what it is. But anyway, we have iron in here and more iron in here. Once these ones fill up, if they ever do. We got some poppies, and I think, yeah, that one's string, which we're getting a surprising amount of. Because last season, the iron farm got us basically no string. We've got rotten flesh in here, which I've only just emptied out. But as you can see, there's basically like a constant stream of drowns being fed into this thing. I think this one might be for copper from the drowns. One of them's for nautilus shells. And then we just have the bulk storage here as well for all of the gear and apparently tropical fish that we're getting. So one of the things I did in between building this is actually go ahead and enchant quite a lot of my gear. So it was pretty much almost entirely fully enchanted, except Protection 4, which we hadn't rolled yet, with a couple of things that still needed doing just because I didn't have enough XP at the time. But now it's finished, I went ahead and enchanted the Silk Touch pickaxe and anything else that I couldn't do earlier. So because the current boots I was wearing had projectile protection and I wanted protection just by itself, I flew over to the shopping district where there was some Feather Falling 3 boots and bought 2 of them to combine for Feather Falling 4. I then, of course, enchanted them with mending and unbreaking, leaving the last thing that I needed to do was roll a protection 4 with the villager. Well, I went ahead and I certainly did try to roll protection 4, and I have for, honestly, like 2 or 3 hours now. But as you can see, still no protection 4. We did have a couple of times where we got protection 4, but the price was so high, it was never going to drop down to 1 emerald, so I figured there was no point because the prices were like 40 emeralds for 1 protection 4 book, which I just decided wasn't really worth it. However, I have got this looting 3 sword, amongst other things, and just in between sort of rolling trades, I have come over here to the trident killer and gotten ourselves lots and lots of levels. So as you can see, we already have 41 levels, and of course I've been trading iron for emeralds, which also gives us tons of levels as well. Is there still a trident in there, or has it been picked up? I get the feeling the trident is glitched. That's not good because there's a lot of them in there. Okay, well this may go badly, but I'm just gonna do a little bit of shopping. Okay, hello. Yeah, the trident has definitely gone. There is no trident in there, and those guys were hitting hard. Jeez. I'm not used to not having protection 4. Well, yeah, the trident just doesn't exist. You know, it might be a good idea to just switch it to the other mode for a second. There is clearly no trident. That's not good at all. Well, there is a chance that it could have fallen down here, perhaps. Yes, it's there. Is it possibly because these are slabs? Let me try switching those to, like, full blocks instead. In fact, I already have one on my inventory. Okay, and there we go. They're all now full blocks now, so I should be able to throw back in the trident killer if... Okay, it might not be able to throw the trident killer until after I've killed some of these guys. There we go. Now if I try and throw it in, there we go. I think that's good. So if we patch this back up, although I don't have the glass anymore, well, not to worry. It looks like the glass ended up in the storage system. So if I replace this and these blocks over here, then we should now have a fully functional... Oh, I accidentally turned the farm off. I didn't mean to do that. Then we should now have a fully functional drowned spawner trident killer farm thing again, which is good news. And just out of interest, what sort of loot do we have whilst I've been spending ages rolling protection 4? So I have already taken iron out of the iron chest to trade with these guys, but this is still a pretty good amount, and there's none in there. We got some poppies. Once again, I have been using those to trade, or the red dye to trade with those guys. We have lots of string as well. String doesn't seem to drop very often. I don't know if it's just to do with how regularly cats are spawning. I guess it probably is. Plenty of rotten flesh. Actually getting some copper now, which is pretty good, and that's a decent amount of copper, seeing as it's not a particularly regular drop. But yeah, overall, we got some pretty good loot from this farm, guys, or these farms, because it's like 3 in 1. Jeez. Now, in the next episode, the current plan is for us to head over to our new base location, seeing as the event has finished, and actually begin working on things that are, you know, going to be a part of the base for the entire season, which is very, very exciting. So make sure to check out that video when it drops. But other than that, I'm going to try and get protection 4 in between episodes, so hopefully I'll be able to show you that at the start of the next episode. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe today to join the Alien Empire. Thanks to the supporters on screen now. I'll see you in the next video coming very, very soon. Goodbye.